And we are back. This is the 2013 FF1M season, round 1 coming to you from the beautiful scenic setting of Albert Park, Melbourne, Australia. 2 commentators with you, James Brickles and
James Whiteley.
The series returnees of Exelite, or Exelite, whichever you'd like to call it. It'll be an 18 race season, starting in Melbourne and ending at Interlagos in Brazil. No Long Beach this time, or Road America for that matter. The United States Grand Prix will be held at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Also, we've got China and Malaysia making an appearance this season. Should note as well that Brazil is the last race of the season rather than the second race of the season. So there's a map of the Albert Park circuit. Last season saw Tornado's Lewis Hamilton win that particular race. Hamilton drives for a different team now, FJR. And note how the lap record was set by Robert Kubica for Andrew F1, because he was the only driver to take on slicks during that race, and whilst it initially worked, the rain came back. 3 stops expected. Let's chat a bit. So you've made your series return.
Indeed.
And you've got 2 very able drivers with you, 2 former champions, in fact, of the FF1M world, Fernando Alonso and Jenson Button. What are your expectations for this season?
Anything less than a 1-2 in every race, and I'll be having words with the drivers.
Well, fair enough. Let's see how qualifying's gone. It's Kimi Raikkonen on pole position for the renamed Gi Racing outfit. They're now known as Gohira. They're using the Works Ferrari engine. He's joined by his teammate Sergio Perez on the front row. And Romain Grosjean third for Tornado, having shifted from FJR. Vettel fourth in a shake and bake, so Ferrari's looking strong, has to be said.
Yeah.
And the first non-Ferrari is Lewis Hamilton in the FJR Mugen Honda. And you fill up row 4, which is actually a very good return.
That's not too bad, yeah. It was interesting. We've got the race yet, but considering that they haven't actually used any of my race drivers in testing, I was absolutely no expectations. So.
And considering you had covered the fewest laps of all the teams as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, some bugs in the system.
The Mercedes engine car's not performing particularly well in qualifying, the highest of which was the Valtteri Bottas making his FF1M debut for GRM, and that was in a customer Mercedes as well. Nico Rosberg all the way down in 13th. So 5 lights are on, lovely new graphics, and 5 lights go out. And who's going to be making the best start from the front row? It is indeed Kimi Raikkonen. And Grosjean's had a terrific start, and he's trying to get around the outside at turn 1. He's done it! What a move from Grosjean, and Perez has caught Raikkonen napping as well. Now as we round the rest of the first couple of corners in terms of field, Sandberg has dropped to the back, and note how the Pedersens are well off the pace in qualifying. They're expecting a difficult season. So rounding turn 5, it's Grosjean in the lead from Sergio Perez, Kimi Raikkonen, Jean-Eric Vergne in the other Tornado in 4th position.
Shake and Bake is 5th, Vettel's 5th.
Vettel 5th and Hamilton 6th. There's Alguersuari, Sol Gutierrez, Bruno Senna, and rounding out the back is Sam Bird.
It's his debut, isn't it?
Sam Bird was last season.
Oh, right, okay.
Yep. Had a fairly solid season for a brand new team then, Horizon. Horizon running the Works Honda engines like FJR. You see Grosjean, he's got 27 laps of fuel on board, so it'll be interesting to see what sort of strategy he runs. And the rest of them seem quite light. And I've just noticed your cars are running like an old school Ferrari livery.
Yeah, 2004 Ferrari, I think it is.
Something like that. Most of the others seem to have retained their old liveries.
That's a nice livery.
That will be the Tornado, who leads this race. Grosjean yet to win a race in FF1M, so this is a great opportunity for them as he rounds turn 1 and 2. And
that's a nice livery as well.
That's the new Gohira livery.
Gohira, yeah.
Let's just call them Gi Racing.
Gi Racing. Whether Gi likes it or not.
Last season they were Sean Connery Motors.
Oh, that was it, yeah.
And they have the opportunity to equal Maestro Motorsport's record of 5 wins in the Australian Grand Prix.
many.
Mm.
When was Maestro's last season then?
That was back in 2001. Can't remember who they had on board, but they had a pretty difficult season in 2001. This is Alonso versus Hamilton. This is a battle that was quite frequent in the previous FF1M season, and it looks as if it's resumed. So it's Hamilton ahead of Alonso at the moment. Both your guys in the top 8, so not looking too bad in your return.
Nope, they've got work to do.
Your last season back in 2008.
Yeah.
Back in the old turbo era.
It was, yeah. I think actually no. I think I did a classic. Did I do? I think I did a classic Masters '86 or '87 season.
The retro.
The retro, yeah. I think that was my last
official series.
Series, yeah.
Yeah. Not including the Indy FF1M, which you took part in.
I can't remember doing very well in the retro.
It's Kimi Raikkonen having a look at Perez for second position into turn 1. There's nearly contact.
There is
contact between the two, and the Raikkonen has shunted Perez into a spin, and the Mexican dropping well down the order. Is anybody gonna whack into him? No, they're all just about avoiding him.
Just about.
That's Esteban Gutierrez in the other FJR.
I think that's all the hallmarks of an early shower. I don't think he's. Oh no, yeah, he's going. I thought he'd stalled it.
He's made a mess of that. Still making a bit of a mess, but it's alright. Here's Paul Di Resta, another debutant for GRM, and nearly making contact with Bruno Senna in the newly liveried Pedersen. They had
That's
the
a
old
lovely livery, is that?
That's black and gold. Oof. And here's Sam Bird looking to take advantage of Di Resta. It's turn 3, side by side, racing room between the two Brits. One of them Scottish, one of them somewhere in southern England. Not exactly sure where Bird is from. Look at the pace of Grosjean. Thanks to the incident between the two Goheras, the gap is now 3.1 seconds. Let's see if Raikkonen can do anything about that. And of course that incident moves everyone else up the order. Look at Nico Hulkenberg in 8th position. The Mitchell seemingly revived, because last season they had a disaster with the old Toyota engine. Oh, it's Daniel Ricciardo for the Willows. That's out of the race, is pulled off, and Andrew F1 looking to say hello to him. And it's a puncture for the Australian, who performed so brilliantly last season, but Willow's not looking quite strong, and
Vettel's oh dear.
And that is nothing new, because he's made a lot of those in recent F1 days, but...
there's a battle. Careful, lads.
Is Alonso slowing down? Has he got a problem?
Oh dear.
On lap 8?
I think it is. Oh.
He's looking a bit...
Yeah, looks like there's something wrong there. There's a problem.
He's looking a bit limp on the right rear, so I wonder if this is a puncture, but we'll find out if he can make it back into the pits. He should be able to. So Alonso's race not over yet. Might bring his first pit stop early. But yeah, Vettel, what a moment.
I was going to say 4-time world champion, but...
Oh, it's an engine failure, that's what it is. So, first race back, and Alonso has blown it, his customer Ferrari.
Well, I'm off.
Jensen's still in 5th, so he could still get a good result yet.
I did worry about reliability.
Had you tested much?
I had tested. Yeah, I was about to say it's not. It's not as if I didn't test reliability. So there'll be words in the factory back at Bingley.
Sam Bird versus one of the Pedersens. That's under yellow flags. Interesting, but he's taken a position off of him. Water leak, but we'll call that an engine failure.
Results the same.
Kobayashi versus Senna now for 18th position. Pedersen really struggled in testing. This is
Vettel?
Gutierrez versus Vettel. Vettel making his recovery. Vettel's teammate up in 7th position, by the way, Pastor Maldonado.
Yeah,
so
he hasn't crashed yet.
It's not it's not all doom and gloom for Shake and Bake just yet. And Robert Kubica up in 8th position. Andrew F1, well, in the shape of Kubica, looking not too bad. His teammate is a debutant in FF1M, Robin Freins. That's a Dutch driver. Heard of him?
I've heard of him, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking the way you said that. Freins, I was thinking he sounded a bit Mexican.
There's a bit of contact between Vettel and the other Mitchell, who's driving the Al-Jaswari, is in the other Mitchell. That's for 11th position.
He's got a bit of work to get into the points then.
Latin on Latin. Gutierrez. Obviously showing no bias there, but up to 12th position for the Mexican, who was still waiting. Oh, it's Jean-Eric Verne out of the race for Tornado. That's from 3rd. So that's not good. So Tornado's proving a bit fragile at the moment.
They're Ferrari powered as well, aren't they?
They are indeed, yes.
I'm noticing a trend.
Yes, so that's... I'd be worried if I was Grosjean, Raikkonen, Button et al. Although it's not, the reason's not come up yet. No smoke, so it looks to be some sort of other mechanical problem. Be confirmed on the screen as a puncture, so some tyres not lasting. So Daniel Ricciardo, and here's Lewis Hamilton into the pits. Look at the fat slicks on the front. And Kubica in the pits as well. I don't have a clock. Oh, it's 7.9 seconds, that stop. So Hamilton making a pit stop from 3rd position. And although FJRs don't appear to be as quick as the other Ferrari runners, not a bad start to Hamilton's championship defence. Current champion is Lewis.
So where's he fed out? I can see that.
Maybe outside the top 8. I think he's 9th. As Di Resta makes a pit stop. Interesting that GRM picked both of the FF1M championship contenders to race with them. So it's Bottas and Di Resta. And not doing too badly. Bottas, the highest placed Mercedes in qualifying. Raikkonen making a pit stop from 2nd position. That was a quick stop, 5.7. And Grosjean going a long way into his first stint. Hulkenberg in the pits from 4th. And Maldonado in the pits as well. So these are the 3 stops taking place at the moment. Raikkonen,
oh, he's okay.
which is the weird
It
pit
is a
exit.
weird, yeah.
And Rosberg in the Willows. Oh, that's a nice message on the back of the rear wing. Farewell, Shannon.
Oh,
Noticed
yeah,
that?
that's some very sad news.
We do miss him. Oh, Vettel nearly making contact with Kimi Raikkonen. I don't think Shannon won the Australian Grand Prix. I'll check the statistics. No, they didn't win that race.
Look at this button.
That's Jenson Button and Lewis Hamilton for 3rd position. We'll see.
Your man's going well.
Not doing too badly, but your driver appears to be going a bit quicker than Lewis. Brit on Brit, champion on champion. Yeah, Button's definitely the quicker car at the moment. You're in good shape.
Yeah.
Even
Half the team, but could all go boom boom yet.
like the Wenger boys.
Like the Wenger boys.
And it's Grosjean who leads, but having
You're taking some very strange lines.
Hamilton. Showing defensive. I am. I wish.
I meant your boy. Oh, he's got a. This is a.
There's some power in that Ferrari.
There is.
Hamilton's very wide.
His car is as well.
Grosjean still leads the race, having yet to make a pit stop. I'm intrigued to know what sort of strategy he's running. And Raikkonen's second, 24.1 seconds behind. We'll have to see the gaps on the next lap. I think Grosjean's got a fair bit of fuel. Hulkenberg running in 5th position for Mitchell. That's a good race for him so far. Maldonado in 6th for Shake and Bake. Kubica 7th for Andrew F1, and Nico Rosberg in the Willows.
Andrew, that's higher than was predicted, wasn't it? For the Andrew F1, I think.
Yeah, they didn't perform particularly brilliant during testing. Neither did the Pedersens and one other team. I can't quite think.
Then again, it's quite deceptive because I mean, for example, my guys we were always using the testers.
Yeah.
So it depends on. I can't remember were they using the race drivers more or. I can't quite remember.
We'll have to check that, but there was a mixture of race and testers. I think Gohira had a tendency to use their race drivers more. It's Sergio Perez topped a few days, and the gap went down between Grosjean and Raikkonen by 1.5 seconds on that last lap. Former teammates, now driving for completely different teams, both drove for FJR last season, should I say. For quite a few seasons, just 2. As this battle between Hamilton and Button still goes on. Hamilton's got the measure of Button now, but you never know. Jensen could just be biding his time.
Doing a Jensen and looking after his tyres.
Of course, if something happens between Grosjean and Raikkonen, this will be the battle for the lead, and you have the opportunity to take your second Australian Grand Prix win.
Oh, you put me on the spot now. What would I'm gonna guess 91.
Correct.
Oh,
yes.
Yes. That was a season with the stupidly powerful Ferrari engine that blew up all the time.
It was only really in the second half of that season where the qualifying engines were just too overdeveloped.
Yeah.
You had Damon Hill at the wheel.
I did, and Kimi, I think. Was it Damon and
Kimi?
Yeah. That was a good line. That was a very solid driver lineup.
Yeah.
It's a pity Prost. I couldn't. And then was it the season after or the season before that I had Prost? I can't remember.
Season after you.
Season after,
Prost,
yeah.
You didn't have.
I didn't have anything like as good a package.
Yeah, that was back in the Masters era when
you could have anyone from any era, couldn't you?
That's Robin Freins making a move on one of the Pedersens for one of the lower positions. I think that was Bruno Senna he just passed. The Monaco Grand Prix winner from last season in one of the strangest races. 8 cars finished and 3 different leaders crashed out.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah.
There's lots of weaving.
And that's Nico Rosberg.
Nico Rosberg.
You thought it was one of your cars, wasn't it?
I did have a little bit of a brown trouser moment there.
Yeah. But that was out of... He was running in 8th at that time, but that position's now been handed over to Sebastian Vettel.
Looks like an Arrow chassis.
Hamilton and Button right next to each other on the start of that lap. We'll have to see who remains in front after turn 1 and 2.
Willows.
Yeah, they were very competitive last season, arguably had the fastest car. But it seems like the Mercedes haven't quite got the legs of the Ferrari engine. Out of the yellow flag zone, Button now all over the back of Hamilton once again.
Captain Smooth at his best by the look of it.
Against Captain Bad Taste in Music. As they go around to start another lap, as Raikkonen continues to close the gap on Grosjean, it's now 16.8 seconds.
Oh, look at that power of the Ferrari.
Hamilton defending a bit, and Jensen's got the experience to brake at the exact right moments, but he's got another opportunity to go into turn 3.
I think he's going for it.
He's up the inside.
Oh!
That's close.
Oh!
That was an elbows out overtake from Button,
yeah.
who's up into 3rd on Exolite's return.
Oh, yes. Look at that car as well. Looks gorgeous.
Can he do something about the gap between himself and Raikkonen up in front? He's still closing the gap on Grosjean at a fast rate.
Vettel? So Vettel's now up to, is going to be, is it 8th? 7th, sorry. Yeah, I was looking at Cubits at that.
He was in 8th, now up in 7th. And now going to chase after his teammate, Pastor Maldonado, who's not doing too bad a job in 6th position.
Pretty solid, is that?
And we're having a look at Grosjean. He's due in the pits. You can see on the bottom left-hand indicator that his pit marker's yellow. That means he's due in the pits. Now, what sort of strategy will he be running? Because he could do a 1-stop, but I would recommend a 2-stop just to keep Raikkonen at check, because I'm sure Raikkonen's 3-stopping.
Grosjean's pace has been, 12, 13 seconds. I wasn't expecting that sort of a gap.
Bearing in mind he's not made a pit stop, and Raikkonen has. And Raikkonen's just been closing that gap on new tyres. So rounding the 3rd to last corner into the 2nd to last corner, and darting right into the pits. Very clinical, like a tram. Just like perfectly in between the grass.
That's definitely an adjective I'd use to describe Grosjean. Clinical.
Clinical, yeah. So let's see how much fuel he takes on board. 35 laps, that's a 1-stop strategy he's taken on. And that's a quick stop as well, 5.6 seconds. Had that fuel in one massive lump.
So he's going to feed out sort of 3rd?
3rd, possibly 2nd. See if he does rejoin ahead of Button. That's the lapped Pedersen's. He's 2nd. And there is Button.
Ah, there he is.
Coming up.
In fact, he's taken a very wide line. He might even be under threat here. And, this is going to be close. And I think Jensen has not done it.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Taking it quite easily there. Button has got the lighter fuel load, and I think 2 stops to make. Now, can Kimi Raikkonen do something about Grosjean, who is pulling off the circuit?
Oh!
And both Tornadoes out of the race!
Oh, dearie me.
And that puts Raikkonen in a very, very strong position. And the left rear looks a bit limp, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's a gearbox failure. Transmission, gearbox, similar things. And Adrian Sutil is out of the race for the Horizon team. So that's the first weakness of the Honda engines, badged as Mugen for sickeningly nostalgic reasons.
Yeah, but if you put Mugen on the front, it means that the engine automatically has more power and less reliability.
I always thought the Hondas were less reliable, weirdly enough. So Raikkonen now leads on lap 32 from 18 seconds. Jenson Button in second position.
Oh God, I was worried.
A little bit delayed. As third place Sebastian Vettel makes a pit stop. That's not a bad effort, actually.
No, it's not.
I suspect Hamilton has made a pit stop, which is why he's down in 5th position. And somebody, Kubica, up to 3rd position, but I expect him to make a second pit stop soon. So it looks like Kimi Raikkonen's got this one well under control. We'll see what happens with second place Button. See if he can do anything about the gap. As into the pits for his second stop comes Kimi Raikkonen.
I think Jens will struggle now until the pace-wise. Although he's quite obviously, well, yeah, fuel load. That's a slow stop.
Front right was a bit slow coming off, and definitely a 3-stop because 17 laps of fuel. They don't run it completely dry. So that's about 13 or so laps. So take him to lap 46. Jenson Button into the pits from second position, so he doesn't get the chance to lead a lap just yet.
And, yeah.
And the mechanics suit the wings, weirdly enough, rather than the actual base of the car. And 16 laps of fuel, so that probably would take him to lap 45.
Bad job, boys. We'll keep the P45 for another day.
Still in second position as well, is Jens.
He is, yes.
Just about. Is Hamilton going to do something about that?
Oh, I think he might have got him, unfortunately.
And Hamilton has made his second pit stop as well.
He does,
so
yes, for position.
Battle resumes, and Hamilton has got more fuel on board as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this one works out, but I suspect Jenson will get past pretty quickly, because he does have newer tyres and less fuel.
And the Ferrari engine is
quite a bit more powerful.
He's going like the wind at the moment.
Vettel in 4th position, so he's recovered very well after his rather odd spin. Hulkenberg still in 5th, Maldonado 6th. Valtteri Bottas has made his way up to 7th position, so that's a good effort.
Yeah.
Good effort from the GRM, current FF1M champion as well. And Kubica in 8th position. So let's see if Button can get a good run out of the fast chicane sequence.
No, I don't think he'll be here. It's going to be turn 1 if he passes him anywhere, I think.
Turn 1 or turn 3, probably. Trying to remember when Jenson Button last won a race.
Well, have you been focusing? What have you been? If you in testing, did you? If you wanted to give up your secrets, were you primarily going for power, even with the Honda?
What I was doing is I was testing.
Thanks for the insight there. That was a proper workshop.
Teams are very secretive. I'll just leave it like that. This is lap 34 and Kimi Raikkonen leads. I imagine by 20 seconds over Hamilton, who has got Jenson Button all over his
very
gearbox.
Close now. I think, dare I say, it could be a slam dunk into turn 1.
Could well be. And Jenson...
He looks on it. And we're on board. And it's
let's see the slipstream.
I think it's game over for... No, maybe
Hamilton's defending. Just about had
just
a good
about,
enough
yeah.
run. But it's into turn 3 where the next opportunity...
Was it me? I didn't really see the camera, but it looked as if Jenson went, what up? He's going for it. Yes, he's done it. And into P2 again goes Jenson.
Slightly cleaner than last time.
Yeah.
No contact.
I was just saying though before. I think Jenson went wide the lap before, didn't? I think that's how when Hamilton was coming out of the pits. Oh,
it's Gutierrez.
Gutierrez
with a blown Mugen. That's a bit of a worry for the other FJR running in 3rd position.
Yeah.
There's a big engine blow up as well. Smoke pluming out from the back.
So I think that answers the question. No, you weren't testing reliability. Oh, never a nice sight to see a Yorkshire car in flames.
So that's his FF1M debut done.
Like his engine.
And he was running in 9th position at the time, so an outside shot of the points. And this is early final stop for Raikkonen. It looks like he might have a brake problem. So bringing his final pit stop forward, this could make it interesting.
Yeah. What made you think? What makes you assume it's a brake problem? If that's not, was it the?
Well, it said so at the top.
Oh right, okay. I didn't see that on the news.
He's not taking enough fuel to the end of the race either, so that was purely unscheduled. Jenson Button now leads the race, and Hamilton has taken second. The Gohiras are in trouble because where has Perez disappeared to as well? I haven't seen Perez for a while. And yeah, he's definitely making another stop. This race has just gotten interesting all of a sudden. So, mechanical problems for the Gohiras.
That's such a shame.
You're trying to be modest there, aren't you?
I really, really do feel for the Brazilian team. Reliability is not a way I would like to inherit. I mean, it's all gonna. I'm jinxing it here. It's gonna all end up in a Italian fireball, isn't it? Yeah.
So Jenson Button now leads from Lewis Hamilton. Sebastian Vettel now in third
P3.
position. So there's been a brilliant recovery drive from the shake and bake. He's got Kimi on fresh.
He has been very quick.
So the shake and bake. Yeah, I mean, they were one of the first teams to abandon last season's car. Valtteri Bottas out of the race. He was in 7th position for a while, and now his gearbox has let go. That will move Kubica 7th, and Al Jaswari up into 8th position. There's Sergio Perez. I was wondering where he'd gone.
I do like that livery a lot, actually.
It's very nice, yeah.
Interesting.
And
I like
the Sega on the side.
Oh no!
That's Jenson Button out of the race.
Oh!
That was from the lead. It's suspension failure as well. So what could have been a sensational return to form. Vettel's engine has blown up as well. It's all kicking off in Australia. And it's Lewis Hamilton that leads the race. On lap 40, it's battle between him and Kimi Raikkonen.
Oh no. Right.
I need the co-commentator for this one.
Now that's an engine failure.
That's an engine failure. Another Ferrari engine gone.
Well, you're in the lead.
I am in the lead, yes, with Lewis Hamilton. And there he is, lap 44. And he's got a problem.
Oh, God.
Kimi Raikkonen is back in the lead.
Oh, my word.
It's a loose wheel, according to the status at the top. Can he make it back into the pits in time?
So it's going very well for the Yorkshire Tykes, isn't it?
It's not going well. I think he's going to pull off.
He's going to pull off.
So this dramatic Australian Grand Prix has taken another plot twist. Who's going to be second position? Nico Hülkenberg for the Mitchell. What a strange race we're seeing here. And it's Kimi Raikkonen who retakes the lead after his own mechanical drama.
You're being very professional here, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how gutted are you right now?
Not too happy. Maldonado out of the race.
Oh, the other shake and bake.
From 4th position.
Oh dear. He was doing so well.
I know. Both shake and bake's doing well, but
Ferraris are, well...
we're having a lot of reliability
A lot of reliability
issues.
all of a sudden.
This has moved Robin Freins.
I was going to say, Freins is 8th.
He's be up to
He's going to be
7th.
up to 7th in a second, yeah.
Sam Bird's out of the race as well, so the other Horizon has packed up. And here's Kimi. That's Kimi Raikkonen. With a few laps to go, he's got a 25-second lead over Nico Hülkenberg.
I'm sure that's good. I don't think that is. Oh, yeah.
That's
look like Kimi.
That is definitely Kimi. Because he's running...
Yeah, it's just the helmet didn't look very Kimi-esque, but yeah.
As he rounds the turn 8 and 9 complex onto the back straight, or one of the few back straights. And it's Jaime Al Jaswari in 4th, so both Mitchells running in 2nd and 4th. They'll be pleasantly surprised with that. And I think Andrew F1 will be pleasantly surprised with 3rd as well, and 6th.
Andrew, yeah. third. Kubica was 8th at one point, wasn't he?
And Kobayashi and Senna, for Pedersen, they might get points.
Well, you can rip the prediction.
There's only 4 teams in the top 8 as well. That's another interesting pattern.
God, I thought he was slowing down for a second there. It's just
In fact, we are looking at Perez. That is.
I thought we would. Yeah.
That is Sergio Perez.
Yeah, I was going to say I was saying it didn't look very Kimi Raikkonen-esque. So where's Perez? Yeah, Perez is in. Yeah.
He's in 5th and he's a lap down on his teammate.
I was thinking that didn't look very like the Kimi's helmet design. So why are we looking at Perez?
Has AJ got the wrong one?
Do you think perhaps the race director is looking at the wrong chart?
It might be possible, yeah.
No, we won't mention it. It's not professional to mention it.
Whilst we're looking at Perez, it is worth mentioning that he did top quite a few test sessions during pre-season testing. Bottas topped a test, I believe, and Rosberg topped a few tests as well. So he's rounding the quick chicane now. And of course, don't forget that Kimi Raikkonen shunted Perez off as well at turn 1 at some point during the race. So I think Perez will feel quite aggrieved to be a lap down at this point. But nevertheless, he's running in 5th position, which he had a very difficult season with Shake and Bake last time out, with a lot of crashes and retirements, including one at the British Grand Prix, I remember, where he just binned it on the final lap.
Sounds about right.
But Kimi Raikkonen has started the final lap, and Hulkenberg was 26 seconds behind at that point. So the Mitchells showing some good race pace, actually, both still on the lead lap. We'll see the gap between Kimi and Nico. Former race winner, of course, Nico Hulkenberg, when he was actually driving for the Mitchell at that point as well. 2010, 2011, I think. I'll have to double check that. 27.9 seconds the gap has grown out to. I think that's all that's left, the top 8. I don't think there's anybody left.
It's been a proper race of attrition.
So this
it all seemed to it all seemed to be in the sort of lap. What was it, about lap 47ish, 48? It just seemed to. It was the late 40s when it must have been about 5 cars retired in about 3 laps.
Early 40s, I think it was.
Was it early 40s?
Yeah. So I think I know what I need to work on.
Yeah.
Like the 3 Yorkshire teams, all 6 of their cars have retired, which is not a particularly gurning statistic. We are still looking at the wrong person here, because Kimi Raikkonen,
he's about to take the win.
He has rounded the final corner, and we'll surely see it. Kimi Raikkonen has taken the first win of the 2013 FF1M season for Gohira Gi Racing Ferrari. Perez comes along 5th.
Oh, the helmets.
Hulkenberg finishes 2nd for Mitchell. Great result for them considering the season they had last time out. And Kubica takes 3rd.
I think we better confirm. I think we were following the right car, but without the right helmet.
No, it was definitely the wrong car.
The wrong car. Okay.
Al-Jaswari takes 4th, and so both Mitchells in the points, both Gohira's in the points with Perez 5th, both Andrew F1's in the points with Freins in 6th. So all 4 Renaults finished the race, and both.
What a result for Andrew F1
and Mitchell.
And Mitchell, yeah.
And the fastest lap goes to Kimi Raikkonen, so he takes the triple: pole position, fastest lap, and most importantly, the victory. And you can see a long list of reliability problems. There's no crashes; they were pure reliability. So a lot needs to be worked on for a lot of these teams, because the teams that didn't finish, both drivers didn't finish, in a nutshell. And pretty obvious when we look at the championship standings, in that Kimi Raikkonen leads the championship, from Nico Hulkenberg from Robert Kubica. It's pretty obvious considering we've just had 1 race, but the team's championship is the interesting one, because Gohira have 16 points from Mitchell, who have 13, Andrew F1 have 9 points, and Pedersen have 3 points. Somewhat unexpectedly, considering their testing form.
Exactly.
And
Pedersen and Andrew.
And considering they were comfortably on the back row of the grid, like 7 or 8 tenths between them and 20th place.
Just goes to show, pace means nothing without reliability. I think that was the message of the day.
Absolutely, yes. And that concludes what was a very dramatic and a race of a high attrition Australian Grand Prix. We'll see you for the next one at the very hot and tropical Sepang circuit in Malaysia. So from the two of us, we shall see you soon.